5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Chatfield Show. I'm your host Ryan Chatfield and today I am absolutely honoured and pleasured to have our latest guest on the show. It's none other than Daliso Chaponda. How's it going, Daliso?
Doing well. Daliso Chaponda in the house. Thank you for having me. You're getting me at a very positive state of mind, as you know, the last 2 weeks I've actually had audiences after a year of not. It's pleasant to be back as a sort of comedian.
Yeah, I bet that's been, quite annoying. Your career, you've just not been able to do anything for a year, but at least it's back on the road now. You've got some, quite a few tour dates coming up. So it's exciting to look forward on what you've got coming.
Very much so, because I was doing comedy in my kitchen via Zoom and Twitch during lockdown, and there's nothing like a live audience. So it's just felt really good to be back.
Well, that's good. And I think we should start off
Yes.
with the first question on how did you get into stand-up comedy?
So I was always someone who was creative. I used to write short stories, and I wanted to be a novelist. I wanted to write big, fat science fiction novels. And my family, of course, thought I was a madman. I ended up going to Canada to study computer programming and English literature. And while I was there, I discovered stand-up because I'd never actually seen stand-up.
Yeah.
I'd seen Eddie Murphy's Raw and Delirious, but I didn't know that that was a thing. I just thought, oh, it's the Coming to America guy doing a one-man play. So while I was at university, I went to an open mic, which was a comedy open mic, and it blew my mind. Blew my mind. I couldn't believe that you could say these kind of things in front of people. And I had done stuff like poetry, but with poetry, you read the poem and people clap at the end.
Yeah.
Comedy, every moment there's laughter, there's people yelling, clapping, and I was just like, I have to try this. And once I tried it, there was no going back.
Well, it's definitely worked out well, hasn't it? And I was wondering, is there any comedian or someone who especially makes you laugh?
Yes, I would say. I mean, I love comedy, so there are loads of people. Right now, I enjoy a lot of. I enjoy Chris Rock. I enjoy Nikki Glazer. I enjoy Bill Burr. There are loads of them. Loads of them.
Yeah.
But if I had to say favorite of all time, it's probably Joan Rivers, who was insane and used to get away with crossing the line in the 60s and 70s. Right now, people think they're controversial, but imagine being controversial when you could be arrested for obscenity. She was amazing.
And I think it'd be great to chat quite a bit about your Britain's Got Talent campaign in 2017. And I was just wondering, when you applied, did you ever expect that it was going to go that far, or you were going to have that sort of reception? And of course, you got Amanda's golden buzzer in that audition.
So I expected to get through, but I did not expect the golden buzzers. So I knew I was funny enough to get through, but usually, as I had seen it, people got golden buzzers for things which defy logic, like sticking a sword down your mouth or something like that. And I was like, I'm funny, but it's not the sort of thing which gets a buzzer. And so when it did, I was so surprised, blew my mind. And actually, that more than getting to the finals helped me, because in a weird way, like, the buzzer is viewed more on YouTube and stuff than the final, because people it's got that dramatic moment. So people, it changed my life.
Yeah, because you see those videos and they've just got millions and tens of millions of views. And I know yours has got millions and millions.
I still can't believe I have a video. My semifinal has 100 million views, right? And I didn't understand what that meant. But what that means is, like, wherever I go in the world, I can be in Singapore, I can be in Namibia, I can be in New York, people will recognize me. And that's really weird. The internet is crazier than just television.
Yeah. And I bet must be quite cool. You've just come off Britain's Got Talent, and now everyone knows who you are. And do you think that was
it's
a bit
wonderful.
surreal at first?
It was very surreal because I had done a bit of television before.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that this was so different.
Yeah.
So I had done a little 5-minute stand up on the BBC. But suddenly everybody recognized me. Everybody was calling me. Also, people who don't like you are very direct. They'll yell at you, "Hey, you're not funny, mate." And you're just walking around having random people tell you you're hilarious and other people tell you you're not funny. It's very, very weird.
Well, at least I think you got mainly the most positives out of that.
Yes.
And with your Britain's Got Talent, when you got to that semi-final, it was on the 2nd of June. And then the final was the day after.
Yes.
So in the back of your minds and written down, did you have stuff already prepared in case you did get to that final? Or did you just go to the semi-final thinking, I don't think I'm going to get through?
I will say you've done a lot of research because you're the first person who's noticed that and asked me about it. Because the actual truth was, it was extremely stressful because I had jokes ready to do for my final. But after doing my semifinal, I got messaged and told you can't do this joke and you can't do this joke.
Oh.
So I was scrambling and trying to argue why I could do those jokes, and it was really stressful.
I can
that
imagine.
24 hours was so stressful. And to this day, I wonder if I chose the right jokes for the final, because if you'd had a week, if I had a week, I would have gone to comedy clubs, I would have tried different versions and picked the best one. But with one day, it was just like, okay, I guess this is what we're going with. Let's see what happens.
And obviously, it served you quite well. You got all the way to 3rd place.
It did.
And I can't imagine what that feeling must have been like. Britain's, probably the world's biggest talent show, and you've just come 3rd. I mean, that must have just been absolutely incredible.
It stunned me because I didn't think I was going to be 3rd. Like, even on the day, there was this woman who sang Purple Rain, who was amazing. There were these dancers. There's so many amazing acts that you're like, okay, I'll come 10th or 9th or something like that. And I've got to keep and then I came 3rd. I could not believe it. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I know all of us in our house, we were rooting for you because, I mean, your just whole Britain's Got Talent campaign was just absolutely hilarious. I mean, as soon as you captured us with the WKD blue and the fish and chips in the audition, we were absolutely just stuck to you.
People still quote that to me. It's really funny. People often quote that to me. It's absolutely lovely. And one of the funniest things is I didn't expect kid fans.
Yeah.
Because I'd always had adults who found me funny. But nowadays, 7-year-olds will be like, you're that funny guy. And it's amazing that, one, that they can understand it, but 2, that they love it. It's great. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, that must be amazing. Little children, older people, younger people, are supposed to be brilliant. Everyone's knowing you.
It's really great. I also like how it's all ages, all races, all demographics, what Britain's Got Talent. So my tours, I don't know what's coming. It's just a total mix of everything. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, and I think we will get onto your tour because, of course, you have had, is it 2 tours you've currently already had?
Yes.
And then you've got a current one?
So I had 1.5 tours. So I had my first tour, then the second tour in the middle, COVID said, hey, stop. So now I'm starting my 3rd one because I couldn't continue that one, which I had done for a year and a bit, because after COVID, all the stuff I was talking about in the last one just doesn't seem that important. So I'm now to a 3rd one, which is Apocalypse Not Now, which is kind of about COVID, the end of the world, panicking, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So if anyone wants to go and see Daliso live, I'll leave a link to the tickets in the description down below. He's an absolute cracker. So I definitely go and grab some tickets. And
please do.
So with the idea behind this, your latest Apocalypse Not Now, is this something that you've written in COVID times, or is this something you've been planning?
Yes, I wrote it in COVID times. I wrote it over the last year.
Yeah.
I wrote it And it's not just about COVID. That would be very boring.
Yeah.
It starts out about COVID, but it's really about, hidden under the jokes, it's about keeping your mental health when things are rough,
Yeah.
as we all are enduring right now. But it's also like if you're in a bad relationship or you have family problems, whatever problems come, it's about keeping sane while bad things are going on.
And that's not always the easiest, is it?
No, 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 no. Like first few months of lockdown, I was living alone.
Yeah. Oh, that
And
must have been annoying.
there was that point where I realized I hadn't touched another human being for 51 days.
Oh.
And I was like, this is getting out of hand. And
Yeah.
so I can't really complain because I know other people were ill, other people had family problems, but still, loneliness is still a problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I do talk about it. Yeah.
And I know that during lockdown, you actually did some lockdown Corona Crash lives. And I remember you actually,
Yes.
I sent this suggestion about cinemas and you actually did include it in your show.
Oh, yes, because I was like, I didn't know what to talk about. So I was like, why don't I ask the audience what I should tell jokes about? And then whatever came, I would write jokes about. And your cinema suggestion came. That show was really about giving me purpose when I was living alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I needed something to do to not dwell on the worrying. And it was fun, actually. It was actually really fun.
Yeah, they were definitely enjoyable. You know, I'd get down, in the evening and just watch them. They were really entertaining. So thanks for that as well. And I wanted to chat about, we might have already spoke about it, but it might be something different. What has been the most memorable moment of your career so far?
Most memorable moment of my career. Well, of course, the number one was probably the Golden Buzzer. But I'll tell you what the second one was, because we already talked about the Golden Buzzer. It was back in 2009, I believe it was. It was going to the Melbourne Comedy Festival, because that was the first time I'd actually been hired and flown to do a gig. And I felt like a real comedian. I was like, wait, they've given me a ticket? And then on the plane, there were famous comedians I liked, like Stephen K. Amos was up front, Daniel Kitson was up front, and I was like, I'm a comedian like these guys. We're all flying to the same festival. That was it. That was the one.
That must have been amazing,
Amazing.
Especially to be flown out all the way to Australia as well, for a show.
Exactly. And then also put up in a hotel and just treated like a professional, even though I hadn't been going that long. That was the turning point.
I meant that just from thinking, you've made it now, you're a comedian.
Yeah, very much so.
And of course, last year, at the end of last year, you went on the Royal Variety performance. And of course, that was with televisions in front of you. So I was wondering, did that kind of affect your show because you couldn't get so much of a personal reaction? Or how did you adapt to it to give it your...
Well, I've now been a comedian for half of my life.
Yeah.
Right? Because I am 40 and I started at 20. So I've been a comedian so long that I can perform to 2 people or 1,000 people with televisions in front of me, with a Zoom camera in front of me. Comedy is what I do. So that didn't really throw me off. The only thing which was really weird about it was, when you do the Royal Variety, other years you get to shake hands with the Queen. We couldn't shake hands with anybody. So it was also good to do because my parents in Malawi don't necessarily understand what I do in terms of that I'm a comedian. It's very hard to explain when it's a good show, when it's a bad show. But they all know what royalty is, and they all know about. So it was really great because they were able to boast to their friends and able to appreciate that I'd done something amazing. So it was great.
Yeah, that must have been, quite cool, regardless, of course, the occasion. But I mean, to be on that show must have been just
it was amazing.
Amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. And the host is an acquaintance of mine, Jason Manfred.
Yeah.
And having him host it made me funnier because it calmed down any jitters because I knew him and we hung out a bit before the show. So it was wonderful.
Yeah. And I was wondering, you've done, shows, you've been a comedian for half your life. Do you still get those butterflies or, those moments where you think, oh, I'm a bit nervous here for this occasion?
So I get jitters, but not from performing, from other stuff which may be going on. So for example, if it's just a show, I'm not nervous, but I might be nervous if there's a big agent in the room, or a girlfriend in the room. If there's something else going on, which, like, I had one where some Disney people were in the audience who looking for a cartoon character. I was very nervous about that, not nervous about just performing. So other things can make me nervous.
Yeah. And I was wondering, would there be, like, because I know younger people, trying to come up in the, in the stand-up comedy, is there any advice you'd say to someone who, gets those nerves and stuff?
The main thing I would say is before going on stage. So the day before, you prepare until the day before. On the day of, I would say, don't look at your notes. Don't try to memorize. You should just relax, talk to your friends, call your family, think about anything else on the day and go on, because it's meant to be fun. And a comedian having fun is always funnier than one who's worrying too much. So it's mainly like prepare until the day before, and then on the day have fun.
Yeah. So I think that'd be quite good, because but that's really good advice, and thanks for that. And I know in Britain's Got Talent, you said about when you said to your parents when you'd just been at university, and then you said you're going to become a comedian. I just wanted to know what's their feeling now of you being a comedian, because I know when you said back on Britain's Got Talent that they weren't disappointed, but your brother was a doctor, and comparing both,
Now they are very proud. And also what's really funny is my father is a politician. Yeah. So for a long time, I was known as Minister Chaponda's son. Now he's known as Daliso Chaponda's father. So I turned the table. So it's absolutely great.
Yeah. She just played the Uno reverse card there then.
Yes. Yes.
And we're coming up to the end of the show now, but I've just online, I read about your BBC4 show, Daliso Chaponda, Citizen of Nowhere. And I was just wondering, so you just come off Britain's Got Talent. Was that one of the first offers you had onto doing something?
Yes, that was the first offer. Well, what was interesting was I'd already had an offer before Britain's Got Talent to do a pilot. So the way it happens is you'll record one episode, and then if it goes well, they'll give you a whole series. But once I did Britain's Got Talent, they said, it's a series. Just don't write one, write 4. And actually, I'm writing series number 3 right now. I don't know when this goes out, but like by, I think it's October, my 3rd series of the show will be going out, and I love it. It's interesting, even though it's not the most visible of all the things I've done. I think it's the best one I've done. It's great. Yeah.
And if anyone wants to listen to any of those, I'll get a link in the description as well. And
it's all free. It's all free. If you're in the UK, it's free.
And the final question, which we end up all these episodes with, is Daliso, what does success mean to you?
Success to me is choosing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because to explain, like early in your career or generally in life, you will take a job just to eat. You'll, you will do a lot of things you don't want to do just because you have to do it. And success, I think, is when you can pick and choose what you want to do. And I happily am at that point. Like there are gigs I've been offered the last 2 weeks that I've not taken. And that is really a privilege because I just do the good ones.
Thank you so much for Daliso coming on. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure. I've watched you for the last few years, and it's just to chat to you. It's been an absolute honor. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much, and good luck with the Ryan Chatfield show.
Thanks a lot, Daliso. Thanks everyone for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.
See you soon. Bye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.